So it looks like there's plenty of you guys that are still confused on what buff trolls are, what artifacts to use, how should you spec into as a buff troller, and why all, if not most, endgame players looking for a buff troller rather than a power troll. So essentially, I'm going to be breaking down everything you guys need to know on why buff trolling is the quote-unquote meta in 2026. Let's do this. Alright, so a quick breakdown. A power troll is basically the team's battery. Your whole job is to keep the blue bars up so that way everyone can continue using their power. Now, a might buff troll still gives power, but the main focus is different. A buff troll uses artifacts and stats that turn your numbers into extra damage for everybody else. So instead of just feeding power, you're boosting everyone's might and boosting up your group buffs. So if you ever jump into a raid and notice that your DPS aren't focused on anything else but doing damage, then they're pretty much relying on the troller to make sure that all the doors are open, the portals in the Superboy boss fight are closed, and if anyone gets down, well, you gotta do majority of the pickups. Now, a lot of people are still confused on why they're relying on you to pretty much do everything else, and that's simply because there's the competition about ending the raid super fast. Again, as a buff troller, you're practically giving more might to the DPS so that way they can hit harder. So of course, they're gonna have to rely on you to do everything else so that way they can continue doing as much damage as possible. Now, this is why on all my videos, I specifically say this is why it depends on what group you're running with. If you are in an endgame league when you're running with the same people, then of course you want to stick with the same old might buff troll. But if you're running with random people at all times, then maybe this isn't the build for you, and you should kind of just focus on a power troll build where you can spam your supercharge and be more of a safety net. Now, when you're running with the same group, it all makes sense because majority of the roles are coexisting as one. So since you're focused on buffing everyone's damage output, that's when you're relying on the healer to make sure that they have their 10k heals, they're popping their green so that way they can continue feeding you supercharge, and anytime you need it, you can use it more times than none. But if their healer isn't a 10k healer using greens, then of course you're gonna run out of supercharge and you're really gonna just have to rely on your damage. Now, if you're in a group where your DPS isn't putting out that much damage, then you're practically gonna feel a little bit useless. Again, it's all about preference and who you're playing with. So if you're a beginner and don't have an active league and you feel like you're constantly playing with just random people at all times, then maybe a might buff troll isn't for you. So if you're in one of those unfortunate cases and want to have a more updated power troll build, then feel free to leave it on the comment section below and I'll go ahead and do that. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and break down this quantum might buff troll build. So first things first, you have your gear mods and your base mods. So for your base mods, you're going to want to stick with all power and then vitalization. If you have elite gear, then these are the mods that you're going to want. Now, I know we're a buff troll, but power strategist mod still does apply since the ability that you're going to be using for quantum is still considered a power heal. Now, the white mods for your gear, the two most important ones that you get on the marketplace cache is the ultimate supercharge mod for your headpiece and the ultimate accelerator power mod for your back. Everything else still remains the same. So for your weapon, we have replenishing adapter. For your neck, we have escalating replenishing proc. For your chest, we have extended supercharge. For your legs, I have ultimate critical prowess. For your feet is tumbling master, and your hands is empowered channeling. So for your augments, you're going to want the vitalization one, so all blue, so that way it can help put out a little bit more power than normal. As a buff troll, your allies still remain the same with John Constantine, General Zod, and John Stewart. If you don't have John Stewart as an ally, dude, I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong. You need John Stewart anytime you're doing Elite or Elite Plus. He makes things so much easier. That Green Lantern shield that he applies every time you use your supercharge helps a lot, especially if your tank is a little bit squishy or the healer isn't putting out that much heals. Then John Stewart being your ally is practically giving you a safety net, so he's a must. For General Zod, he boosts up yours and everyone else in the group's might by 3%. And I know John Constantine is a combat ally, but he's still doing a support by boosting up your defense by 10%, your might by 18%, and your precision by 9%. So these are your top three. So what you're going to want to be speccing into, we're not going to be using any weapon mastery, so just claim one. You can use whatever weapon you want. I'm a little bit more familiar with brawling, so I'm just going to spend 1 skill point so I can claim it. Next up is your super speed. Now I'm going to go ahead and claim all of these. That way, anytime you use a breakout, you can gain a little bit more power. And then we have nothing for iconic powers, and then pretty much for your stat points, we got super powered. Since I only have 434 skill points, I'm going to do the 10-10 route, and then I'll break them evenly between health and vitalization. Now, I think 200 vitalization is a good sweet spot, and then anything after this that I gain for skill points, I'm just going to use it for health, simply because you have the artifact Tetra. So if you have more health, you'll get 2% for might on that one. So for the artifacts, I know you guys are still a little bit confused about this. These are the only 6 that you're going to want if you're still doing or planning planning on doing the whole buff troll. Now, you only have 5 slots to work with, so the 2 artifacts that you're going to be swapping is Sinestro's Corrupted Powering and Bob Common. And again, it's very important to understand, anytime you're running with endgame players, the DPS are going to be doing a lot of damage to the ads to where they're going to be dropping like flies. So, I mean, literally seconds. That's why you guys are going to want to have Bob Comlink. You're not going to have enough time to just apply 1 debuff at a time. You're going to need to make it quick. So use Bob Comlink, which is the Birch Blitz move, to apply all 3 debuffs and then hit him with Brand of Hecate and you're good. Now, if you're not fighting ads and you're in a boss fight, then get rid of Bob Comlink and use it with Sinestro's Corrupted Powering. So anytime you have this artifact equipped, it's going to help build up the supercharge faster. It does do damage when the Avatar of Fear is active, and it gives you power back in return. So that's why you're going to want to swap between these 2 artifacts. Now, there has been people using Pages of the Black, which there's nothing wrong with it. I just shy away from it because it inflicts self-damage. So if you're in a group where the healer isn't the best, then you're just going to be making them work harder than they should. So I'll go ahead and skip on that one. You should be perfectly fine with these 6. So to give you a quick rundown on the artifacts, so for Claw, anytime you use your tick without it, it just gives you power back, right? And that's the traditional way to play as a power troll. But if you're using it as your artifact, the moment you click it, it no longer does it as a power heal, but it actually gives you a buff. So anytime these orange crystals pop out, you're giving everyone a 7% boost in might. And I'll typically just wait every 6 to 8 seconds to reapply it. That way it stays up. For your second artifact, you have Amulet of Ral. So anytime you use a debuff, it is a lot stronger and it does damage over time. For your third artifact, you have Tetra. So you're going to be speccing into majority of your skill points to health. And that's because if you have a lot of health, then you and 7 group members get might to equal 2% of your health. So for your third artifact is Tetra. So anytime you hit an enemy with a superpower, you and 7 group members gain might equal to 2% of your health. So you're probably going to want to spec into majority of your skill points with health rather than vitalization, just so that way they can get that increase. So the more health you got, the better it's going to be. So for your fourth artifact, you have Brand of Hecate. The moment you use this, everyone's just going to hit harder. That's the best way I can explain it. And now for the 2 artifacts, so if you're running in the beginning of the raid where there's a bunch of ads, use Brand of Hecate. Now what's going to happen here is the DPS should be doing enough damage to wipe these ads out within seconds. So that's why you want Bob Comlink, because you're not going to have enough time to apply the debuffs one at a time. So you're going to need to do it really quick and then use Brand of Hecate. Now you also want to make sure you apply the debuffs first with your buff and then use Brand of Hecate, so that way the debuffs last longer than normal. So the rotation, if you want to say, should look like this. And that's pretty much it. Now for the loadout itself, the first tray is the only one that's really important. The second tray, you really don't need to use anything. I just have Time Bubble and Life Shield. For Quantum, the reason, especially for beginners, the reason why this power is really great is because of Quantum Tunneling. So if you don't really know the mechanics and you're about to get one-shotted, you could use it to teleport away, and it does give you a shield. So that's really good. And then it also helps if you're like for Superboy, you're trying to close the portals, you can get there a little bit faster. If anyone gets down, then you can teleport to them and pick them up pretty quickly. Now for the next build, which is the boss buff, it's just going to remove Bob Comlink and replace it with Sinestro's Corrupted Powering. That's pretty much it. Now I replaced that artifact with this one just so I can build the supercharge a little bit faster than normal. And then the loadout, really, like, you can really just take your time applying the debuffs one at a time. So the rotation would just look like this. And automatically, once the Avatar of Fear gets activated and it hits your enemy, it applies the defense debuff. So I just have the damage and the healing one. And then Avatar of Fear will activate the defense. And then when that happens, then you can use Brand of Hecate, so that way the debuffs are there a lot longer. And then it is the same rotation. You just kind of just stand by, wait 6 to 8 seconds, reapply, so that way you can sustain the 7% increase in might. And that's pretty much it. For the loadout itself, that's what it looks like. The second tray is just for the 2 shields. I have Brilliant Chains in there just because it's a good stun. But if you don't have the White Lantern Ring, then no need to use any of that. Just have the Time Bubble, so that way you can have an extra shield just in case. But you'll see it on the gameplay. All right, so we got ads buff. We're doing a B&E right now.
What's up, y'all? It's the better twin.
I should punch you in your throat. Next time I see you,
What don't
I'm
need to be
jabbing your
said,
throat.
don't need to be heard.
Bro, what?
I already said it. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Whatever.
Yo, quick question, man. I want to be real honest with you, right?
Yeah.
And this is me being like as dead ass as possible, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you cut hair one time, are you a barber?
you cut hair one time, are you a barber? I mean, it depends. How good was that haircut?
That's true. No, but tell me the truth. If you cut hair one time, are you a barber?
I don't know.
Are you allowed to call yourself a barber? Bro, it's a simple question.
I'm asking, was it a good style haircut? Because if it was a dog shit haircut, then no, you're not a barber, bro. But if it was a good haircut, then you're like, oh, okay. You know, you did good. So technically, you are one.
Bro, man, don't you just hate when people can't specifically answer a specific question when I specifically ask them? Bro, it's crazy, man. Are you a barber if you cut hair one time?
I don't know how you want me to answer that, bro. Honestly, you're stressing me out. You're really stressing me out. If anything, you're making my ass itch, and I don't like when my ass itches because I just want to scratch it.
Bro, it's literally a simple question, my guy.
I don't know how you want me to answer that.
I really am interested in hearing what your guys' comments are when it comes down to if you cut hair one time, are you a barber?
Bro, I don't. I'm done.
It's just a yes or no. It's just a yes or no.
No. No, you're not one. No.
So if you take it in the ass one time, are you gay? Yeah, boy.
You said that. I'm gonna switch my build. All right, let's go ahead and swap. Got the bot buff. The boss buff. All right, now I hit him with that.
He's leaping.
I hit him with that.
The fat guy's leaping.
Oh, that's
Yo,
not
where's my power at?
I just look. You have power. What you talking?
I drank my cola.
Okay.
I don't like that.
And
I don't like when I drink my cola.
Oh yeah, dude, this thing is lagging like a motherfudger, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I got you, cook. Dude, I canceled out the freaking. I'm gonna pop ult. Ooh, saved her life, didn't I, huh?
No, you didn't.
You couldn't survive without me.
I already got it, bro. No, bro, everybody knows the best ice tank in this fucking game is me. I take that shit credit. This power is literally ass and you need to time it correctly, bro. Give me the revamp already. Give me the revamp.
Honestly, do you think Ice is gonna get the revamp next? Because they have to do a tank power next.
No,
they did
dude,
a healer. No, think about it. They did a healer. They did. Now they're doing hard light, which is a troll. They got to do tank next, just to keep it fair.
I would like, if I would be honest with you, it's the one that needs it the most. Literally, fire is phenomenal. Atomic will, you know, it's always gonna be easy, bro. There's nothing really gonna be ever a problem with atomic.
Yeah.
And then like Earth, like dude, ever since you have Red Tornado with ice, it's actually really good because literally you hob that shit in, and then all you're doing is what is the thing? Earthquake with the weapon buff with Pages of the Black, bro. You're just slamming, doing all damage, getting all the health back, and then you got break. Maybe it will probably be in between Earth and Ice, but Ice needs it the most in my opinion. I swear somebody tell me no. For every tank out there, you know damn well Ice is the one that needs the help.
I mean, no, you're not.
Don't
wrong.
even talk to me about Rage. If they do Rage, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be mad pissed.
Nah, I would be as well because they're doing hard light. Don't do another lantern ring. They should do something else. Because fire is solid right now. Fire is good.
Yeah, there's no problem with fire.
Atomic is good. Rage is good.
Yeah.
I think Earth is.
Those are the big three.
Yeah, Earth is better than Ice.
And yes, Ice is the bottom line, bro. And they give the revamp. Ice would be the best power in this game. Literally, give me the shield rotations, right? Because I already know how they work. And then on top of that, give me the health bar on my freaking thing. Let me see my health bar, and then other than that, I should be good. You rock that troll build, but on my mama though,
I just got one shot.
I'll go heals. I'll go heals.
Oh damn,
I'll go heals. I'm healing.
I'm not gonna. What?
I say like the powers that aren't being used the most is the only reason why Atomic is because it's boring. We can all agree there. Just spamming the combos one.
Okay, so hold on. So now. Okay, so if it's a tank power, you said it's Ice. If it's any other power, what would you say?
I would really actually like to see the pets coming back. So it'd probably be Earth next.
So even if it's not a tank power, you were just in general, it would be Earth out of all the powers.
If somebody would tell me which one you want as a tank, ice, without a fucking doubt.
But if it's not ice, then it's just all the powers.
But if it's all the abilities, I would probably say I would like Earth, because fire doesn't need it. There's no need for it right now.
Okay, so out of all the powers, not just tanking, I'm talking just in general, all the powers, dude.
Oh, if you're talking my favorites, ice and fire.
I'm talking of every power, every single power in this game. That's not tanking. If it's not tanking, it's just any power. Why are you so confused about this?
Oh, okay. Ice.
Are you?
Yeah, but ice is, dude. And no matter what, devs, if you're listening, I'm not even gonna ask, because I know you guys got shit planned and you guys are killing it right now. Do your thing. But if you would really want me to say something, please, for the love of God, if it's a tank power, ice. If it's a healing power, celestial, because it needs it.